Hello, guys. Good evening. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I think that should be fine. And then we'll be starting any second now. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, it's showing, unfortunately, it looks like we might be having some issue with the internet tonight. At least it's showing some red status on my side, so I wouldn't be surprised if you experience some interruptions or delays on your end. Let's see. I hope it resolves itself. It looks like the internet is a bit slow today. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to sing any specific songs, and I'll try to make sure to include them into tonight's stream. And yeah, let me know how you guys have been doing this week. And let's see, what do we start with? Let me just have a quick think in terms of what song would be a good one to start with. Let's do this one. It's a song that I haven't sung in quite some time, and it's a favorite of my friend called Mina, as well as many other people as well. This is a song that was originally called Leningrad Nights, and then it has been renamed into Moscow Nights. And happy first day of spring for those of you who are based in Australia. I guess today is the 1st of September, or first day of autumn for those of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere. Right, let's see, where is this song? Okay, here it comes. Саду даже шорохи, все здесь замерло до утра. Если б знали вы, ах, как мне дороги подмосковные вечера. Если б знали вы, ах, как мне дороги подмосковные вечера. Речка движется и не движется, из лунного серебра. Песня слышится и не слышится в эти тихие вечера. Песня слышится и не слышится в эти тихие вечера. Что ж ты, милая, смотришь искоса, низко голову наклоня? Трудно высказать свет уже все заметнее. Так, пожалуйста, будь добра, не забудь и ты эти летние подмосковные вечера. Не забудь и ты эти летние подмосковные вечера. So this was Moscow Nights. And those of you who have just joined the stream, this is one of the songs on my first CD called Journey Around the World, one of the 2 Russian songs from that CD. And let me see, I think I may have... Hi Yitka, how are you doing? Good evening. Good evening to you as well. Yeah, let me know guys what's new, what's been happening this week. We are already in the in the beginning of September, believe it or not. Right, let's do this next song, which is another cool Russian song that I sort of learned not so long ago. Let me just find it. Right, if only I could remember. No, I don't think this is the one. Let's see. Виталий, привет, как дела? Where is this song? Okay, found it. Right. Let's give it a go. I may have forgotten some part of it because it's been at least a month, if not more, since I last sent it. Probably more, actually. Цены сам платил мне малые, не торгуйся, не скупись. Подставляй-ка губы алые, ближе к милому садись. Подставляй-ка губы алые, ближе к милому
одному садись. Вот и пала ночь туманная, ждет удалый молодец. Чу, идет, пришла желанная, продает товар купец. Катя бережно торгуется, все боится передать. Парень с девицей целуется, просит цену набавлять. Парень с девицей целуется, просит цену набавлять. Знает только ночь глубокая, как поладили они. Распрямись, ты рожь высокая, тайну свято сохрани. Распрямись, ты рожь высокая, тайну свято сохрани.
Right. Лена, привет. 100 лет, 100 зим. Как дела? Спасибо за комментарий на видео в YouTube. Так, напишите мне, если хотите услышать какие-то конкретные песни сегодня в комментариях. Постараюсь их исполнить. Let's see. Maybe we continue with some Russian songs tonight. Oh, it may change depending on how the evening develops, right? Let's do this song next.
Или на тройке с бубенцами, а вдали мелькали огоньки. Мне б сейчас соколики за вами, душу бы развеять от тоски. Дорогой длинною и ночью лунною, из песни той, что вдаль летит звеня, и с той старинною, с той семиструнною, что по ночам так мучила меня. Дорогой длинною и ночью лунною, из песни той, что вдаль летит звеня, и с той старинною, с той семиструнною, что по ночам так мучила меня. Так, живя без радости, без муки, помню я ушедшие года и твои серебряные руки, в тройке улетевшие навсегда. Дорогой длинною и ночью лунною, из песни той, что вдаль летит звеня, и с той старинною, с той семиструнною, что по ночам так мучила меня. Дорогой длинною и ночью лунною, из песни той, что вдаль летит звеня, и с той старинною, с той семиструнною, что по ночам так мучила меня. Дни бегут печали умножая, мне так трудно прошлое забыть. Как-нибудь однажды, дорогая, вы меня свезете хоронить. Дорогой длинною и ночью лунною, из песни той, что вдаль летит звеня, и с той старинною, с той семиструнною, что по ночам так мучила меня. Дорогой длинною и ночью лунною, из песни той, что вдаль летит звеня, И с той старинною, с той семиструнною, что по ночам так мучила меня, дорогой длинною и ночью лунною, и с песней той, что вдаль летит звеня. И с той старинною, с той семиструнною, что по ночам так мучила меня. Лай-лай-лай-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла. И с той старинною, с той семиструнною, что по ночам так мучила меня.
Oh, I was nearly lose my breath singing this song. It's a bit of a challenge, also because the rhythm of the song starts accelerating towards the end progressively, so which is actually quite a common feature in many of the kind of traditional Russian songs, as you may have noticed. Right. Let's see. What else can we sing next? Let me do this next song. This is another song that I've sort of neglected for a while. This one's called Please Give Me Back the Music. Just get some drink first. Right, where is it now? That's odd. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the right one.
Со мной на водных лыжах ты летишь, за спиной растаял след от водных лыж. Ты услышь их музыку, слышь, как от волшебного смычка такая музыка. Уведу тебя от дома, уведу, на виду у всех знакомых уведу, уведу на радости и беду, одной натянутой струной связаны мы с тобой. Ты сквозь года летишь за мной, как будто ангел загорелый за спиной. Верни мне музыку, без музыки тоска. Мы расстались, но осталась наша музыка. Ты сквозь года летишь за мной, как будто ангел загорелый за спиной. Верни мне музыку, без музыки тоска. Мы расстались, но осталась наша музыка. Никогда не возвращусь я, никогда, никогда не запоет уже вода. Без следа все смыло, без следа. Ложь не нужна, ей грош цена, струна оборвана. Ты сквозь года сквозь года летишь со мной, как будто ангел загорелый за спиной. Верни мне музыку, без музыки тоска. Мы расстались, но осталась наша музыка. Ты сквозь года летишь за мной, как будто ангел загорелый за спиной. Верни мне музыку, без музыки тоска. Мы расстались, но осталась наша музыка. Музыка, музыка.
Such a beautiful and melodical song. I really like it. It's very romantic, and also I find it the music is quite uplifting as well. Yeah, that's right, Yitka Muslim Magamayev. Exactly. Wow, you really upped your game on the Russian language. I don't know how you did it. Don't tell me you've learned the Russian alphabet. Although it must probably no, it wouldn't be easy for you, right? Because you guys don't really use Cyrillic alphabet in Czech, at least not that I'm aware of. Let's do this song next, which I did for already a couple of streams, but I think it's such a cool song, and it's quite relevant in a way because we have the springtime here.
Вот идет по свету человек-чудак, сам себе тихонько улыбаясь. Видно в голове какой-нибудь пустяк, сердцем видно что-нибудь не так. Приходит время, с юга птицы прилетают, снеговые горы тают, и мне до сна приходит время. Люди головы теряют, и это время называется весна. Сколько сердца валидолом не лечи, все равно сплошные перебои. Сколько тут не жалуйся и не ворчи, не помогут лучшие врачи. Приходит время, с юга птицы прилетают, снеговые горы тают, и мне до сна приходит время. Люди головы теряют, и это время называется весна. Поезжай в Австралию без лишних слов, там сейчас как раз в разгаре осень. На полгода ты без всяких докторов снова будешь весел и здоров. Приходит время, с юга птицы прилетают, снеговые горы тают, и мне до сна приходит время. Люди головы теряют, и это время называется весна, 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 весна.
Really like this song. Another really cool song, always the one that always lifts my mood as well. And yeah, I think the other thing I was just thinking is we're kind of very blessed here in Australia, at least, because I think Australia probably has quite a large number of sunny days in terms of the sunshine that you get, and I just think that sun, makes a huge difference in feeling better. Although some would argue that you should happiness is a thing that comes from within, and the external environment shouldn't really matter. But I think they're both, well, all factors are at play. So if you have a beautiful weather like we have been blessed with for this last couple of days, it definitely helps to feel better about yourself as well. Yeah, let's see. Just a second. Let's do this next song, which is another song by Anna German. This one is called The Hope. So if I can find the track itself, it should be somewhere handy, but it's always a bit of a challenge. Oh, here it comes. Okay.
Незнакомая звезда, снова мы оторваны от дома, снова между нами города, взлетные огни аэродромов. Здесь у нас туманы и дожди, здесь у нас холодные рассветы, здесь на неизведанном пути замысловатые сюжеты. Надежда — мой компас земной, а удача — награда за смелость. А песни довольно одной, чтоб только о доме не пелось. Ты поверь, что здесь издалека многое теряется из виду, тают грозовые облака, кажутся нелепыми обиды. Надо только выучиться ждать, надо быть спокойным и упрямым, чтоб порой от жизни получать радости скупые телеграммы. Надежда — мой компас земной, удача — награда за смелость. А песни довольно одной, чтоб только о доме не пелось. И забыть по-прежнему нельзя все, что мы когда-то не допели. Милые усталые глаза, синие московские метели, снова между нами города. Жизнь нас разлучает, как и прежде. В небе незнакомая звезда светит, словно памятник надежде. Надежда — мой компас земной, а удача — награда за смелость. А песни довольно одной, чтоб только о доме не пелось.
Oops, just a second, guys. Give me a second. Strange. So this was a song by Nadezhda Anna German, which is called Hope, and it's a hope about coming back together and seeing your loved ones despite the distances, etc. And it talks about being persevering and not giving up in the face of challenges, and sort of like along the lines of what's the expression? Sort of in the line of fortune favors the patient, I guess, something like that. Though the actual expression, I think, is fortune favors the brave, or maybe I may be mistaken on that one. But like, there's something in my head with this expression, fortune favors somebody. Anyways, let's do another cool song by Anna German as well. We'll just do a few songs by her.
Небо пылинками звезд, и выгнутся ветви упруга. Тебя я услышу за 1000 верст. Мы эхо, эхо, мы эхо, эхо, мы долгое эхо друг друга. Долгое друг друга. И до тебя, где бы ты ни была, дотронуться сердцем нетрудно. Опять нас любовь за собой позвала. Мы нежность, нежность, мы нежность, нежность, мы вечная нежность друг друга. Мы нежность, нежность, мы нежность, нежность, мы вечная нежность друг друга. И даже в краю наползающей тьмы, за гранью смертельного круга, я знаю, с тобой не расстанемся мы. Мы память, память, мы память, память, мы звездная память друг друга. Мы память, память, мы память, память, мы звездная память друг друга. Я знаю, с тобой не расстанемся мы. Мы память, память, мы память, память, мы звездная память друг друга. Мы память, память, мы память, память, мы звездная память друг друга. Память, мы память, память, мы звездная память друга. Память, мы память, память.
Италия, спасибо. Кто-то пользуется эмотиконами. Хотя бы вы, ты. Right, let's see. Let me guys know if you want to hear any specific song tonight. And as I said, I'll try to incorporate it into the stream. Let's have a look. Mm-hmm. Let's do this song next.
Cet air qui m'obsède jour et nuit, cet air n'est pas né d'aujourd'hui. Il vient de ce loin que je viens, traîné par son musicien. Un jour cet air me rendra folle, sans foi je vous le dirai pourquoi. Mais il m'a coupé les paroles, il parle toujours avant moi, et sa voix couvre ma voix. Padam, 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 il arrive en courant derrière moi. Padam, 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 il me fait le coup du souviens-toi. Padam, 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 c'est un air qui me montre du doigt, et je traîne après moi comme un drôle d'erreur. Cet air qui sait tout par cœur. Il dit, rappelle-toi tes amours, rappelle-toi puisque c'est ton tour. Il n'y a pas de raison pour que tu ne pleures pas, avec tes souvenirs sous mes bras. Et moi je revois ce qui reste, mes vents en font battre tambour. Je vois s'entrebattre de gestes toute la comédie des amours sur cet air qui va toujours. Padam, 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 des je t'aime des 14 juillet. Padam, 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 des toujours qu'on achète au rabais. Padam, 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 des voitures en voilà par paquet. Et tout ça pour tomber juste trois quoi de l'euro sur cette air qui m'a reconnu. Padam, 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 écoutez les chahuts qu'il me fait. Padam, 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 comme si tout mon passé défilait. Padam, 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 faut garder du chagrin pour après. Je n'ai tout un fait sur cette terre qui bat, comme un cœur du bois.
Right. It was one of the first French songs that I learned. And yeah, actually, I remember in a company I used to work for, we had this thing called, like sort of like a mini competition and social event for the company. And it used to be a relatively small company until it grew larger and kind of became a little bit more corporate. But it was it used to be more fun back in the day when it was small. And then we had this competition where you're sort of like wanted, you needed to showcase your talents. So obviously I chose to to sing, and this was a song that I was singing back then in that competition, so to speak. It wasn't really a competition; it was just like a fun outing, and people were getting up, doing all sorts of things, and it's interesting to discover people from other perspectives, because you only you think you know somebody, but you only know the only one aspect of their lives, especially when you work with somebody, you only know them professionally usually. Although obviously some people make friends, and then you may know the person, like people you work with, a little bit better, or from the settings other than professional. Oh, what is this? Hold on, just give me a second. Ooh, let's have a look. It's interesting. Okay, that is so odd. Okay. Huh. That is not right. Anyways, that is so odd. Okay. I was just expecting something today, and part of it has arrived and part hasn't. So I just got a notification, but I think at least it's consistent. It only says that part of it has been delivered, which is kind of odd. Anyways, what I was talking about. Oh yeah. Right, so let's do another French song, and this one is another cool song. You guys, I hope you like. You cannot not like this song in a way.
Je me baladais sur l'avenue, le cœur ouvert à l'inconnu. J'avais envie de dire bonjour à n'importe qui, et c'était toi. Je te dis n'importe quoi, il suffisait de te parler pour t'apprivoiser. Oh Champs-Élysées, oh Champs-Élysées, oh soleil sous la pluie. À midi ou à minuit, il y a tout ce que vous voulez aux Champs-Élysées. Tout m'a dit je rendez-vous dans un sous-sol avec des fous qui vivent la guitare à la main du soir au matin. Alors je t'ai accompagné, on a chanté, on a dansé, l'on n'a même pas pensé s'embarrasser. Oh Champs-Élysées, oh Champs-Élysées, au soleil sous la pluie, à midi ou à minuit, il y a tout ce que vous voulez aux Champs-Élysées. Hier soir, deux inconnus, et ce matin, sur l'avenue, deux amoureux, tout étourdi par la longue nuit. Et de l'étoile à la concorde, un orchestre en mille cordes, tous les oiseaux du poids du jour chantaient l'amour. Oh Champs-Élysées, oh Champs-Élysées, au soleil sous la pluie, à midi ou à minuit, il y a tout ce que vous voulez aux Champs-Élysées. Oh Champs-Élysées, oh Champs-Élysées, au soleil sous la pluie, à midi ou à minuit, il y a tout ce que vous voulez aux Champs-Élysées. Oh Champs-Élysées.
So yeah, when I sing this song, I always think, what would it be like? I'm curious to see, what. I've never tried busking in Paris, but I think it might be good. Um, Although I think the other thing is French are quite, or can be quite cold. I find, at least like when um, you know, even compared to the British, and the British are not like the most emotional people out there. But let's say if you go to the pub and to grab a pint of beer or whatnot, a drink, anyways, and then you're there, then there's a chance that if somebody's standing in the queue and waiting for to be served, that people will kind of strike a conversation, even if it's just like to say hello. So it's kind of like small talk, etc. Whereas I think in France, at least in my experience, you probably wouldn't. People would sort of like not strike the conversation themselves, and I don't think they would actually do much to acknowledge you. So I find it's at least to the outsider. So like if you're not French, maybe for a French person the experience is different. The French sort of don't tend to initiate the conversations themselves. And but I'm curious, what would it be to to busk in Paris, and whether or not, for example, some places that are popular for busking, in those places buskers can be very territorial, although sometimes there's like a lot of information that may sound like scary and put you off. I found that in London, to some degree, that was the case, where, like, say, Piccadilly Circus, and when I just went there, like the buskers there were not really friendly or welcoming at all. And then Leicester Square, I knew people there from Australia, but still, I didn't have like the best experience there. But on the other hand, if you take, say, Trafalgar Square, and what's the other place? The place next to Tate Modern, sort of on the South Bank, there people tend to be a little bit more open and welcoming. Maybe that's also because of the vibe of those places. Like Leicester Square tends to be a little bit more sort of more commercial and busier location in some ways, whereas Trafalgar Square is somewhat relaxed, or it was. I think nowadays you may not even be able to busk there. So yeah, and I actually had this crazy, not crazy idea, but when I went to London last time, there was this clowning workshop that I signed up for, and how did I actually end up signing up for it? I'm just trying to remember what was the backstory about it. Oh yeah, so I've done some acting classes, and it's actually a lot of fun, and it kind of puts you out of your comfort zone. And I think clowning workshop, I'm trying to remember. I think it was on the back of my trip to Adelaide Fringe. And there, if you register as an artist, there's a bunch of workshops that are available to you to sign up for. And those are run by other artists. And then there was this workshop run by who was it? Yeah, by like an actor. And I think through that, I sort of like thought about, clowning could be, I found out a little bit more information. I said, why not give it a try? So I signed up to that while in London, and then subsequently I also found out a little bit more. So there's a couple of folks who graduated from a really famous school called, I think it's called the School of, oh God, what's the name? Gautier, something like that. Anyways, and they're sort of like the long-time graduates, and one of them used to run, and I think he still runs, a school in Padova in Italy, which which could also be like that was another thing that was like this could be a cool sort of way to go live in a city and then at the same time learn something, because I think he runs almost like a summer school or a month school, something like that. Anyways, and yeah, and I signed up to this workshop, and then I sort of bumped into all sorts of people from all sorts of different backgrounds, and one of them mentioned that who are a little bit kind of more serious about getting into clowning, etc., or acting. Some of them are like have acting background, and then clowning for them is sort of like one aspect of acting, so to speak, or developing their skills as an actor. And I just saw that there's this girl who I was, who was part of the group. We were a really small group, maybe like 12 people or so. She's actually from Romania, but she lives in London, and she was talking about going to study for a year in Paris to in this school of clowning, and I saw that she graduated in her Facebook post, and I'm almost curious to know what her experience was like, because it was probably quite different because of the pandemics, and like the clowning, there's a lot of kind of physical activity as I suppose in acting as well, because a lot of this studying involves interaction with other people. And I actually wonder, I'm curious also how the other institutes and universities here are faring, because there's a really famous, I think it's like one of the top 10 schools in the world for things like acting. It's called National Institute of Dramatic Arts here in Australia, so on NIDA, and it's got quite a few of famous graduates, and I almost wonder what the study in there looks like for all those people who enrolled for, let's say, 3 or 5. I think it's a 3-year course for acting, and then nowadays they can't even go and have face-to-face classes. So it must be a very different experience from what they signed up for. Have I ever been in Paris? Yeah, actually, I've been there quite a few times. Sometimes it was just like an in and out trip. In the company I worked for, we had a client. The last client actually turned out to be a French client, a big French company, and as a result, I actually, just before coming to Australia, I went there like on a few trips, and some of these trips were like not in and out, but there were maybe a couple of days, and then you're back. I think, although in one of the trips I kind of decided to stay back, and I may have stayed for like 1 or 2 days more, just to enjoy myself and explore the city. I must say, like, Paris didn't grow on me, or like didn't strike me. Like, I didn't fall in love with the city. It's a beautiful city architecturally. It's just like gorgeous architecture, very very well organized in some ways, like planned. And I think, funnily enough, it was planned in some ways after London, but it surpassed London in terms of the planning. London tends to be like a little bit scatterbrained in a way, like in a way it's laid out. But yeah, so Paris was designed after London, but it was like it's much better organized in terms of the streets layout. And I don't know, maybe I didn't like the city like a lot. Like, I didn't, maybe because I had high expectations, like how everyone raves about Paris, like Paris is a city of love, etc. And then you have all those romantic movies about the city. And then I also, I was growing up, my favorite author was Alexander Dumas. So the Three Musketeers, and the trilogy of the Three Musketeers, and all the other. I think I read pretty much every book we had in our family library with Alexander Dumas, and I had like these images of France or Paris in my head before going there, and it was slightly, as often happens when you go to a place, it's gonna turn out different from what you imagined in your head. And in my case, it was middle of winter, and it was so cold. I just remember it being really cold in the city, because somehow there was like this chill factor from the sun, from the river, and somehow it felt colder than London, even although London is also next to the river, but somehow London felt warmer than Paris. But yeah, it's a beautiful city. I don't know. There wasn't like a city in France that has captured my heart, so to speak. There are quite a few beautiful locations. Like Bordeaux is another place. Bordeaux is actually like it's a very pretty and much more compact city compared to Paris. But yeah, I don't know, France. I'm not that I'm not a fan of it. I really like their pastries and the way that they cook. It's everything is well, like, not everything, but a lot of things are very delicious. But in terms of the countries in Europe that I really like, or cities, I should say, it probably my number one choice would be Madrid, because I just like feel very at ease there. And I like Spain. I like Spaniards. Like the Spanish people are kind of they're a little bit crazy in a way, in a good way. I think there's something. They're a little bit more emotional, I guess, compared to the French, and warmer as people. Yeah, and Madrid, there's like something I just like the city. There's something magical about it. The only problem with Madrid is, although you could say same thing about with Paris, it's like Madrid is not next to the sea, and yeah, it doesn't have like access to the sea. So some people prefer Barcelona to Madrid, but I find Madrid is like if I were like to live in a city, probably Madrid would be my choice. Yeah, one of the top choices. That was a lot of talk from my side. Let's see. Let's sing on this note. Let's sing this song. Ta-da. But I think also, I wonder if your experience of France in general changes. Say, if I spoke fluent French, it might have been different, The French definitely open up to you much more if you try to speak with them in French, at least make an effort. Yeah, they're like very hospitable, and I think back then I wasn't like, my French wasn't even that good compared to my current level. Not that my current level is good, but still. When I ordered some patisserie in a shop and I tried to do it in French, the girl working at the counter, she was very appreciative of me trying to do that.
Je veux parler d'un temps que les mois de 20 ans ne pouvaient pas connaître. Montmartre, un salon-là, accroché celui-là jusque sous nos fenêtres. Et si l'homme garni qui nous servait des nids ne payait pas les mines, C'est là qu'on s'est connus, moi qui criais famine, toi qui posais nu. La bohème, ça voulait dire on est heureux. La bohème, nous ne mangions qu'un jour sur deux. Dans le café voisin, nous étions quelques-uns qui atteignions la gloire. Et bien que miséreux, avec les ventres creux, nous nous essions de croire. Et comme quelques bisforts contre un bon repas chaud nous prenaient une étoile, nous récitions de vers couverts tour de poil en oubliant l'hiver. La bohème, ça voulait dire tu es jolie. La bohème, et nous avions tous tout génie. Sont-ils m'arrivés devant mon chevalet de passer des nuits blanches et touchant les hérissons de la ligne dansant du galbe d'une hanche. Et ce n'est qu'au matin qu'on s'essaye enfin devant un café cramé. Et puis aimer la vie, fallait-il qu'il en sait, mais qu'on aimait la vie. La bohème, ça voulait dire en avant-temps. La bohème, et nous vivions de l'air du temps. Quant au hasard du jour, je m'en vais faire tour à mon ancienne adresse. Je ne raconte plus ni les murs, ni les roues qui ont vu ma jeunesse. En haut d'un escalier, je cherchais l'atelier dont plus rien ne subsiste. Dans son nouveau décor, mon meurtre semble triste, il a son mot. La bohème, on était gens, on était fous. La bohème, ça ne veut plus rien dire du tout.
Hey, Spice, how are you doing? Guitar unboxing, not unfortunately. Yeah, it's still in the mail. I don't know what's happening. I know what's happening because of the pandemics. Apparently, more and more people shop online, and they say that the volumes right now are similar to the Christmas volumes in terms of people getting things, and the volume of parcels getting delivered or in the post, and the mail network is just not coping. Plus, in addition to that, apparently the state of the art distribution facility of Australia Post happens to be in one of the hotspot LGAs. So there you go. That explains all the delays. You ordered online. Yeah, you're probably the lucky one. I don't know. Somehow, I'm not as lucky. Although who knows? It happens for a reason. I guess it's okay. I did call them up today, and then that seemed, I don't know if that coincidentally helped, but at least I got part of it delivered, which doesn't help because I can't use the other this part without the other part. But fingers crossed, we'll see. We might do it next week or even Sunday, who knows. I'll keep you posted. Yeah. I'm sort of like, when you expect something to happen and it doesn't happen for a while because it was supposed to get here last week and it didn't. So I waited for another week, and I'm sort of like, when you wait something too much and then it doesn't happen, you sort of like kind of lose. You go through like the cycle. Is that the the valley of despair, and then you sort of you come to the acceptance. You accept the fact that it hasn't happened. Right. Let's see. What was the other French song I had in mind? Let me. What is it? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, let me find it. Da-da-da. Yeah, and you know what? So for those of you who don't know, I ordered an electric guitar because I want to give it a proper try now, and yeah, it's. I was like, what do I even use it for? Because I wasn't sure. But then, just was it yesterday? I actually stumbled. I started sort of like exploring other things in this app that I'm using for learning guitar, and I stumbled upon a song that I think might be a good one for it might sound well with an electric guitar. And then yesterday I was quite excited because I thought, oh, okay, maybe it gets delivered tomorrow, so I can give it a try. And then it hasn't arrived yet, but I'm sure when it does, I'll give it a try with this song that I have in mind, because it's using a lot of power chords, which are quite common, I believe, with an electric guitar, more so than an acoustic. And it's a song that I sort of like stumbled upon by chance, but I then realized, oh, I actually do know this song, and it sounds fun, like to play guitar to this song. Um, it's a song called Ruby. I don't know if you guys know, but somehow like it's in my brain. Maybe it was like popular a few years ago, and probably was played on the radio quite a bit. Maybe it was like, I think I might have heard it in Scotland. It goes, Ruby, 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 Ruby. It's called Ruby. I'm not gonna try to sing it because I think I'm gonna embarrass myself. But yeah, it was a fun song. It was like almost what's the word? Oh god, I forgot the word. Anyways, grooving to it. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Just a sec.
Sur le ciel de Paris s'envolait une chanson. Elle est aujourd'hui dans le cœur d'un garçon. Sous le ciel de Paris marchent des amoureux. Leur bonheur se construit sur un air fait peureux. Sous les ponts de Bercy, un philosophe ainsi, de musiciens, quelques ballons, puis les gens par milliers. Sous les ciels de Paris, jusqu'à soir vont chanter l'hymne d'un peuple épris de sa vieille cité. Près de Notre-Dame, parfois couvre un drame, Oui, mais à Pana, tout peut s'arranger. Quelques rayons du ciel étaient l'accordéon d'un marinier, l'espoir fleurit au ciel de Paris. Sous les ciels de Paris coule un fleuve joyeuse. Et l'endort dans la nuit, les clochards allégués. Sous les ciels de Paris, les oiseaux du bon Dieu viennent du monde entier pour bavarder d'entre eux. Et le ciel de Paris a son secret pour lui. Depuis un siècle, il est repris d'un tri sans lui. Quand lui sourit, il met son habit bleu. Quand il pleut sur Paris, c'est qu'il est malheureux. Quand il est trop jaloux de ses millions d'amants, il fait gronder sur nous son tonnerre éclatant. Mais le ciel de Paris n'est pas longtemps cruel. Pour se faire pardonner, il offre un arc-en-ciel.
People from Spain are very warm and hospitable. They know how to enjoy life. I traveled there a few times, always enjoyed coming back there. Yeah, that's right. I think Spaniards are very outgoing and yeah, probably I would say like most outgoing nation in Europe, one of the most outgoing nations for sure. And I find that like they're quite open as well as people, or at least that's what I feel. And I like my perception of them is that they're a little bit crazy in a way, in a good way. They're a little bit careless in a good way as well, which probably doesn't help their economy because they're if they're careless. Because I think out of the countries, actually, I take it back. Spain is probably in some ways enjoys better economy than Italy. Yeah. But yeah, they certainly know how to enjoy life. And I remember I went for when I had a break in the study for like a winter break. I went for 3 or 4 weeks to Madrid, and then I stayed. So the Spanish course that I took with Spanish language school, they offered various forms of accommodation. So I opted to stay with a Spanish lady, and she was very nice. She was like, you know, I think there was like this added benefit of being able to converse with her in Spanish and practice my Spanish skills. But on top of that, because it happened to be on at the end of the year around like Christmas, those holidays, so she actually. I think she had her family over for dinner, and then she also invited me to participate in that dinner. And then she told me a lot about like the traditions that the Spanish have around this time of year. And one interesting tradition that they do have is one called 12 uvas, and 12 is 12, and then uvas is the grapes. So what you do in Spain is before the clock strikes 12, or I think maybe at the time when the clock strikes 12, you need to quickly consume the 12 grapes for good fortune in the coming year. So yeah, and it was a really great way of improving my Spanish because I was like literally interacting or having conversation of one sort or the other with her every day, and would like talk on different subjects. Like I had to think in the language in a way to like or translate in my head what it is I wanted to say. Right. Дина, здравствуйте, добрый вечер. Что-то вы припозднились сегодня. Дела хорошо, все нормально, спасибо. У вас как? У нас первый день весны, но хотя уже кто-то говорит, что весна, в принципе, технически она у нас давно началась, потому что, последние несколько дней держится хорошая погода. Сегодня некоторые вроде говорят, по прогнозу было вроде 22 градуса, но кто-то, я смотрю, там друзья были на пляже, там написали, что 25 градусов, но я подумал, может быть, у них 25 или по ощущениям 25 градусов. Вот, так что лето не за горами. Ясно. Поздравьте ее от меня с днем рождения, с наступающим. Это получается 2 сентября у нее, да? День рождения. So Zina is saying that her daughter Irina has a birthday, and her daughter Irina lives here in Australia. Actually, both of her children, unless she has more, live here in Australia. And I actually met them both face to face, believe it or not, as well. Я переводила с русского на английский текст. Ясно. Это в смысле у вас домашнее задание такое было? Oh, Yitka. I just saw your comment there. Australia Post to post parcel pickup from... Oh, wow. Okay. For 4 days. That's a long time. Yeah, I thought that, they probably have a lot of people also who work for Australia Post who are living in the hotspot areas, like delivery drivers, etc. Or even people working at the distribution center. Понятно. Вы ее уже поздравили? Еще, наверное, раньше времени обычно не поздравляют. Наверное, будете ждать до завтра, да? Я так понимаю. Как ваше занятие по английскому, кстати, проходит? Мотивация также осталась или уменьшается? Главное, чтобы вы продолжали. Так, давайте с вами споем вот эту песню тем временем. Задания очень большие, ясно. Ну хорошо, я думаю, что это такая хорошая разминка для мозгов.
Volare, cantare, let's fly way up to the clouds, away from the maddening crowds. We can see in the glow of a star that I know for lovers enjoy peace of mind. Let us leave the confusion and all disillusion behind. Just like birds of a feather, rainbow together we'll find. Volare, whoa, cantare, whoa. wonder my happy heart sings. Your love has given me wings. Penso che un sogno così non ritorni mai più. Mi dipingeva con le mani alla faccia di blu. Poi d'improvviso venivo dal vento rapito e incominciavo a volare nel cielo infinito. Volare, oh, oh, cantare, oh, oh, nel blu dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù. E volavo, volavo, felice più in alto del sole ed ancora più su. Mentre il mondo plan piano sparivo lontano laggiù. Una musica dolce suonava soltanto per me. Volare, oh, oh, cantare, oh, no wonder my happy heart sings. Your love has given me wings. Nel blu dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù. Nel blu dipinto di blu.
Влюбилась в красивый язык. Но это хорошо. Я сегодня тоже буквально прочитал пост одной знакомой девушки, которая написала, что с возрастом начала принимать решения не рационально, а больше полагаясь на интуицию. Это я к тому, что есть, не знаю, это, по-моему, психологическая книжка или что-то такое про исследование, про то, что есть такая, как это сказать, какое русское слово у нас? О, Господи. Так, не вспомню сейчас. Неважно. Ну, в общем, есть такое сравнение, когда сравнивают... Так, где-то оно у меня крутится на языке слово, не помню. Ладно. В общем, концепция всадника и слона. Есть такой всадник на слоне, если вы его себе представите, нарисуете. Так вот, как бы всадник на слоне думает, что он управляет слоном. Ну и в принципе, это достаточно, на 90-99% времени так оно и есть. Но если вдруг слону придет на ум что-то сделать другое по своей воле, то всаднику его уже не остановить. Это к тому, что наш разум, он, в принципе, управляет нашими поступками и так далее, но на самом деле как бы самый большой мотиватор — это эмоции и, так сказать, сердце, да? Ну, нерациональное что-то. Вот, и поэтому это такая аллегория, ну, вот, по-моему, слово аллегория, да? Что если вы хотите чего-то добиться, то надо, чтобы и всадник, и слон двигались в одном направлении, и желательно, чтобы слон тоже был замотивирован. Ну, то есть, чтобы у вас были какие-то не только рациональные мотиваторы, но и также какие-то эмоциональные. Поэтому то, что вы влюбились в язык, это хорошо. Так, а бегущую строчку я даже не знаю. У вас какие-то песни подписывает с бегущей строкой? Это для меня новость. Хотя я не удивлюсь, если Facebook, возможно, или там YouTube тот же самый автоматически генерирует, может быть, уже по постфактум, после окончания трансляции, может быть, начинает генерировать субтитры. Потому что сейчас технология, в принципе, уже практически там, ну, вернее, она уже существует. На английском я знаю, что да, автоматически генерируется, на других языках не уверен. То, что вы учите язык по песням, это хорошо, потому что, да, я думаю, если вдруг вам что-то непонятно, это такой язык песен, как я уже говорил, это живой язык, поэтому по песням учить это один из самых лучших подходов. Так, ну давайте с вами споем вот эту песню. Где она? Так. Песня из кинофильма Breakfast at Tiffany's. Завтрак у Тиффани. Нет, My Fair Lady, по-моему. Что такое? Я шучу.
I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you live. Are the lilac trees in the heart of town? Can you hear a lark in any other part of town? Does enchantment pour out of every door? No, it's just on the street where you live. And all the towering feeling, just to know somehow you are near. The overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare, they don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I can't be here on the street where you live. People stop and stare, they don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I can be here on the street where you live. Can be here on the street where you live. Can be here on the street where you live.
Ира тоже советует, она учила так же. So Zina is saying that her daughter, so Zina is studying English right now, those of you who haven't heard about that, and she's saying that her daughter also studied the language, the English language, by listening to the songs. And yeah, that's definitely one of the best approaches to do it, to approach any language, actually. Music speaks a form of a language that we all understand. That's exactly right, Yitka. It's, as one guy says, it's music, letters, notes, letters, and numbers. That's all you need to express yourself. Спойте «Путники в ночи». Так, давайте споем «Спутники в ночи». Where is it?
Strangers in the night, exchanging glances, wandering in the night. What were the chances we'd be sharing love before the night was through? Something in your eyes was so inviting, something in your smile was so exciting, something in my heart told me I must have you. Strangers in the night, two lonely people, we were strangers in the night. Up to the moment when we said our first hello, little did we know love was just a glance away, a warm embrace and dance away. And ever since that night we've been together, lovers at first sight, in love forever. It turned out so right for strangers in the night. A warm embrace and dance away. And ever since that night we've been together, lovers at first sight, in love forever. It turned out so right for strangers in the night. Do-dee-doo-doo-doo, da-da.
The song that I keep postponing learning on the piano, I don't know why. It's like I've approached it a few times and I still haven't gotten to the end of it. Although I'm making progress on other things, so maybe I shouldn't punish myself too much. Я вы что, талисман, что родители? Пожалуйста, Зина, пожалуйста. Талисман у меня лежит на полке. Я не часто его одеваю, потому что я предпочитаю не носить, ну, как бы вообще, в принципе, даже те же часы. У меня есть часы, которыми я не пользуюсь, потому что, ну, как-то, не знаю, привык, что руки свободные, ну и вообще все свободно. Вот. Верю в судьбу, что от нее не уйдешь, и что начертано нам свыше да бывает. Наверное, да, так оно и есть. Есть правда в этом. Иногда некоторые моменты жизни, конечно, трудно логически объяснить. А think Yitka understands or can read Russian at least, or understand. She definitely understands some Russian, but yeah, I'll translate it for her. So Zina is saying hi, Yitka. I don't know if you understood that line, but yeah, she's sending her regards to you, and she's saying you're the most regular listener on my streams. Right, let's do this next song here. Yeah, let's do this
one. Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing. Somewhere beyond the sea, she's there watching for me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'd go sailing. It's far beyond the star, it's near beyond the moon. I know beyond the doubt my heart will lead me there soon. We'll meet beyond the shore, we'll kiss just as before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing. I know beyond the doubt my heart will lead me there soon. We'll meet, I know we'll meet beyond the shore. We'll kiss just as before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing. No more sailing, so long sailing, bye-bye sailing. Move on now, Captain, so long.
Right, let's see what other songs we can follow up with. Un momento. Let's do this one.
In Napoli, where love is king, when boy meets girl, here's what they say. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, tina-lina-ling, tina-lina-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. When the stars make you drool, just like a pasta fazool, that's amore. When you dance down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusami, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, tina-lina-ling, tina-lina-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. When the stars make you drool, just like a pasta fazool, that's amore. When you dance down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusami, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore, amore, that's amore.
Песню про балалайку не знаю, мне кажется, я что даже не приходит на ум. Любовь похожа на сон. Хорошо, давайте споем вам. Любовь похожа на сон. Давайте ее оставим, может быть, на конец трансляции. Сейчас я подумаю. Спасибо, Дина, спасибо большое. Так, давайте тем временем споем еще одну замечательную песню. Где она у нас находится? Да, настроение весеннее. Как-то я сегодня чувствую себя более отдохнувшим. Последние несколько, не знаю, недель? Нет, наверное, неделю, наверное, как-то у меня были проблемы немного со сном. Вот, но вроде сейчас все возвращается в нормальный режим. Так, где у нас эта песня? Да, у нас хорошая погода стоит, как, наверное, Ирина вам сказала. Весна пришла. Забыл название, вернее, не забыл название, не совсем правильно вспомнил. Так. И... Эту песню, я думаю, что вы все знаете. Даже не думаю, а уверен. Thank you, Yitka. Yeah, let's see. I'm really hoping it's gonna arrive. I think actually, as I looked up the status, it does say that it's been or it's out for delivery today, but maybe it just didn't make it. It says it's coming today. Yeah, that was on the. Yeah, that's so odd actually. That's what I find odd. It said that it was on board for delivery at 11 a.m. Who knows? Maybe they delivered it to a post office for me to pick it up.
It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Be mine tonight. Tomorrow will be too late. It's now or never. My love won't wait. When I first saw you, with your smile so tender, my heart was captured, oh, my soul surrendered. I'd spend a lifetime waiting for the right time. Now that you're near, the time is here at the last. It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Be mine tonight. Tomorrow will be too late. It's now or never. My love won't wait. Just like a willow, we would cry an ocean if we lost true love and sweet devotion. Your lips excite me, let your arms invite me, for who knows when we'll meet again this way. It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Be mine tonight. Tomorrow will be too late. It's now or never. My love won't wait. It's now or never. My love won't wait. It's now or never. My love won't wait. It's now or never. My love won't wait.
Right, let's see. Вы сами танцующие. В смысле, я пританцовываю во время исполнения песни. Может быть, да. So Yitka, you understood it well. Okay, that's good. Unless you understood my translation. I'm pretty sure you probably understood what Zina wrote as well. Right, let's finish with this song that Zina has requested, and hope you guys are all keeping safe and well, and I'll see you on Sunday. So we're gonna start the same time on Sunday at 9 p.m. Sydney time. I think at some point the schedule will change for either you or me, because of the likely going to be some sort of like summertime changeover, and we'll have to incorporate it. I just need to look it up, I guess, or we'll find out when we get there. Спасибо, Зина, спасибо. Да, высокая нота там, она не самая удобная, но можно. I'm gonna finish with a song that Zina has requested, and this is a song called "This Love Dream that is like dream or dream like life." Love, that's probably a better translation. Так, ну давайте завершим с вами на этой песне нашу сегодняшнюю трансляцию. Всем вам хорошего остатка недели, хороших дней до выходных и до встречи в воскресенье.
Я в глаза твои, как в зеркало, смотрюсь. Отражение потерять свое боюсь. Не хочу, чтоб ты была гостем в сумраке ночей и в судьбе моей. Я люблю тебя, как любят в жизни раз. Словно солнце в мире не было до нас. От забот и мелких ссор я тебя увел, и ключи от счастья для тебя нашел. Для тебя нашел. Любовь, похожая на сон, сердец хрустальный перезвон. Твое волшебное люблю я тихим эхом повторю. Любовь, похожая на сон, счастливым сделала мой дом. Но вопреки законам сна, пускай не кончится она. Я прощаю одиночество и грусть. Ты сказала в них, я больше не вернусь. Так бывает только в сладком сне, но любовь у нас наяву сейчас. Мне в глазах твоих себя не потерять. На разлуке нам любовь не разменять. Я немыслимой ценой и своей мечтой заслужил я это счастье быть с тобой, быть всегда с тобой. Любовь, похожая на сон, сердец хрустальный перезвон. Твое волшебное люблю я тихим эхом повторю. Любовь, похожая на сон, счастливым сделала мой дом. Но вопреки законам сна, пускай не кончится она.
Спасибо большое, Зина. Спасибо, что напомнили про такую красивую, замечательную песню. И я ее добавил в свои трансляции. Тоже играю, пою «Любовь, похожая на сон». Да, очень красивая песня, замечательные и музыка, и слова. Спасибо, что вы приходите на трансляцию, за вашу поддержку. Всем хорошего остатка недели. Wish you guys all to stay healthy, positive, and I'll see you Sunday. Bye.